Hello there everyone, Lucamus Prime here, and I thought, gonna do yet another video game review, this time for Star Wars Battlefront 2. So, you're probably wondering, why have I waited nearly 2 years to do a review on this, because it came out in, late 2017, this game. Well, the reason is because, this year they released, the final DLC, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's the last one for the game. So yeah, I thought I'd wait until last DLC to do a review of the game. So, let's begin. This will be a non-spoiler review as always, because I do not spoil anything that I review, in case you guys have not completed the game. So let's get started. I think this game is a big improvement over the first Battlefront released in 2015, I really do. I think the graphics are much more better, and also this is actually the first one, I think, since the older Battlefront games to feature a story mode campaign, so that was really good. I mean, the first Battlefront kind of did have one, but didn't really have a narrative, did it really? So yeah, you play as a member of the Empire called Iden Versio. She's a stormtrooper as well, and she has her own team and everything. So yeah, you follow her in the story, and it takes place during the Battle of Endor, and then after that, and then all the way until prior to the events of Force Awakens. So yeah, there's a time jump in the game as well. So, now one thing that I really do love about this game as well is that there's content from all three Star Wars trilogies. Unlike the first Battlefront, where it's only, I think, the original trilogy, yeah. So, as well as original trilogy characters like Han Solo, Leia, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, the Emperor, Chewbacca, Lando Calrissian, all of them. There's prequel trilogy characters at launch, such as Yoda, Darth Maul, and also sequel trilogy like Kylo Ren and Rey. Now, I'm not really a fan of the Star Wars sequel, so I don't really care about the sequel trilogy, but I think it's a good addition for those of you who are fans of all three trilogies in Star Wars. And then onto a DLC, I think it's really good DLC. The first one was based on The Last Jedi, where you, the planet Crate is a map for Battlefront, which is really good. And also you get two characters, which is Finn and Captain Phasma, so that's really good. And they are pretty good characters in the game when you play as them too. Not really a fan of them in the films, but yeah. And then after that, there was content based on Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, that's actually quite a good Star Wars film, but not as good as the prequels or the original. Where basically you get the planet Kessel as a map, and also you get exclusive skins for, I think Han, Leia, Chewie and Lando, so you get to play as Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo and Donald Glover's Lando Calrissian, which is really good. I haven't actually bought them yet because they are quite expensive when you have to pay with in-game currency. And then the final DLC, this is my favourite DLC in the entire game, based on the Clone Wars. So, you get the Geonosis planet as the map, which is really good, because that was one of my favourite locations in the prequels, particularly, with a big battle in the arena. And the characters are Anakin Skywalker, Count Dooku, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and General Grievous. So yeah, so that was perfect. The best way to wrap up the DLC was to include them, because they were characters I really, really wanted in Battlefront, and I was annoyed they weren't in my first Battlefront. So yeah. And one other good thing I will mention about this game is the voice cast, many of which features many familiar faces from the Star Wars trilogy. For example, Daisy Ridley reprises her role as Rey, and also Billy D. Williams reprises his role as Lando Calrissian. I mean, he would do, because he's done lots of voice work for Lando, hasn't he? Like Rebels, Robot Chicken, the first Battlefront game, you name it. And then, as well as that, in the DLC, you got John Boyega reprising his role as Finn, and also Gwendoline Christie as Captain Phasma. So that was a really good addition. And then the rest of the cast is more like Star Wars alumni who have voiced the roles in TV shows and video games. So, for example, Darth Vader is voiced by Matt Sloan, who reprises his role from Soul Calibur 4 and the Force Unleashed games, as well as a few LEGO Star Wars shorts, and also, of course, Chad Vader. And then after that, you've got the Emperor and Darth Maul, both voiced by Sam Witwer, who reprises his role as the Emperor from the Force Unleashed games and one episode of Rebels, and of course as Maul from the Clone Wars and Rebels TV shows. And then after that, you've got Han Solo voiced by John Armstrong. He does a good impression of Harrison Ford, so I'm glad that he voiced Han in this game. Also, Misty Lee as Leia, she's good as Leia, she really is, but she won't be Carrie Fisher, no way. And one other positive mention is Matthew Mercer as Luke Skywalker, so McCree from Overwatch voicing Luke Skywalker, eh? He's much better than the voice in the first game, I'll give you that. Much better. Because the first voice was god-awful, it really was, and he redeemed the character. Oh yeah, one other thing I got to mention. Temuera Morrison reprised his role as Boba Fett. Now that's pretty cool. Yeah, I almost forgot. I mean, then again, he does do a lot of voice work for the character, so yeah, because he cares about his role. Good old Temuera Morrison, eh? And then who else is there? Oh yeah, for the Clone Wars DLC, you've got Many Illumi from the Clone Wars show. So yeah, Matt Lancer as Anakin, James Arnold Taylor as Obi-Wan, Corey Burton as Count Dooku, Matthew Wood voices General Grievous, but then again, he was already in the game as the Battle Droid and also as Kylo Ren when he's wearing his mask. So yeah, I kind of knew he'd come back as Grievous. And then of course, Kylo Ren without his mask, as a skin you can unlock from the Last Jedi DLC and also from pre-ordering the game. He's voiced by Roger Craig Smith. So yeah, that is pretty cool, really. Although I would have been happy if Adam Driver came back to the role. Then again, like I said, I'm not really a fan of the sequel, so I don't really care. And then, the main character in the story is also playable, Iden Versio, in, like, arcade mode. She's provided by voice and motion capture by Janina Garanka. She's a good actress. There's also other familiar people that I recognise. For example, there's a character called Gideon Hask, who's part of the Empire, played by Paul Blackthorne, who you'll know as Quentin Beck from the Arrowverse, so that's pretty cool. Oh yeah, and also Bosk, the bounty hunter's in the game too, so that's really cool, voiced by D. Bradley Baker. Yeah, almost forgot him, yeah. Yeah. Oh, and also Maz Kanata appears, but she's not playable, but she is in the game, voiced by Grey Griffin. She does a good impression of Lupita Nyong'o, very good impression. So yeah, please do check this out. I'm not going to spoil it for you. And there's lots of different places you can visit in the story mode and also in arcade mode and on the multiplayer. So lots of Star Wars planets. It's really good. The story is brilliant. So yeah. One criticism of the game probably will be towards the microtransactions. They're a bit of a pain because it's expensive to get characters like Darth Vader or the Emperor in like the online fighting, isn't it? Yeah. So that's a bit of a beef I have with this game. Other than that, it is really good. So the DLC is top notch, really, I suppose. Voice cast is also really good. I'll give you that. So yeah, do check this out. I'd recommend it if you're fans of a prequel trilogy. Oh yeah, Yoda's voiced by Tom Kane too, because he returns from the Clone Wars cartoon, so that's really good. If Frank Oz couldn't come back, I'd recommend Tom Kane, and he came back, so that's really good. So yeah. So, this was me reviewing Star Wars Battlefront 2, so give this video a like. Let me know in the comments what you think of this game if you've played it. I mean, cause I'd probably give it like about 7 out of 10, really, for what I've mentioned. And subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all later.